What's going on, guys? Boommonsoon here. Now, first thing I want to say before I get into this is Happy New Year. I did say it before in the last video, but that was before New Year. Now it is actually after New Year, but you're in the year of 2015. And I just want to wish you guys Happy New Year. Second thing, I still have a bit of a cold, so sorry if I end up coughing or sounding a little bit weak and pathetic. I apologise. Hopefully I'll be better in a week or so, maybe even less than that. But anyway, the topic of today's video is the AUG-A3, and this is actually a series I'm gonna bring back, which I did at the start of Battlefield's launch. I did the Battlefield 4 at the start of that. I did the start of my channel to give us my 4th video, and that series is Weapon Weekly. This is a series I enjoy doing. It helps you guys. It's informative. It works well. So I decided to bring it back, and the first weapon I'm going to do is the AUG-A3. No real reason for picking this weapon, I just sort of like this gun, and it was one that I needed to use because I hadn't used it much. Now, if you have a good memory, you might remember when I used this weapon in a terrible weapon challenge video. Back then, I was a different player. I'm more mentally better now. This gun isn't close quarters, and back then I was best at close quarters, so I stuck to it. I am better now. I can adapt better. I've played more of the game, so I understand it better. And overall, the gun just works now because I've changed my playstyle up a little bit. That being said, though, the gun has gone through some changes. There was, of course, a big fall patch where all the weapons were either buffed or nerfed, and some of them even buffed and nerfed in different categories. Now, the AUG, I believe, had accuracy boosts. Doesn't surprise me. This gun is a lot more accurate than I remember it, but it is, in fact, extremely accurate now. You just saw in that clip there. I basically shot that guy, a little bit of tap firing, but I barely had to control the recoil. This is a very accurate weapon. But either way, I want to get into the stats first of all, and then eventually I'll get on to actually using the gun in the game and telling you how it feels. So now the stats for this weapon for the damage are just the standard assault rifle. It's 24 damage up to 8 meters, that's a 5-shot kill, up to 8 meters. And then 18 after 55 meters. There's nothing special or different about this, it's just the standard assault rifle damage rate. Now I'll get into the rate of fire, which is 700 rounds per minute. That's a good steady amount. That's nothing too quick, nothing too slow. That's enough to easily be able to control the weapon without losing it or without it being too slow, so that you fire one shot every 10 seconds. It's a good steady rate of fire. The gun ranks in at the 4th best for up recoil, which means that it kicks 4th less upwards. Now, when you actually watch the clips, you were able to see that there was very little recoil actually going up. The left and right recoil is the lowest, but you saw just there, the gun barely moved. It did kick a little bit to the right and left, and of course a little bit up, because there's no way it can't go straight up, but is extremely low recoil, which allows you to control it. The short reload for this weapon is 2.5, which is around standard, just sort of just above average. Nothing too quick, nothing too slow. You're not really going to get caught out. The long reload is 3.1, which is again above average. So now the loadout I used for this weapon was I used the Cobra sight, which is, to be honest, my favourite sight. It's a good sight that works. It wasn't as good before, but they changed it up a little bit, so it's now better, and personally I like it a lot. I also had no accessory because the laser sight doesn't really help much aside from giving you away. This is something I've come to realise after a bit of playing Battlefield 4, the fact that the laser sight helps, but it also gives you away, so there isn't too much point in you using it. It's get spotted or have a tiny boost to your hipfire accuracy. And to be honest, you're never going to hipfire this weapon. I believe the whole time using this, I had 2 hipfire kills maybe. The other attachments I used was a heavy barrel, which is weird because it's something I've never actually used. I'm not sure how much it benefited it. Honestly, I put it on, it seemed to work, so I sort of just left it on. You can probably experiment with a couple of other stuff and see what they are. In the future, I might try something different and use these guns with no attachments to start off with and slowly build up through the attachments. Another thing I want to try this series is try and get a service star with all the weapons I use. This will help because it's not just me saying, here, I've used this weapon for 10 kills, it's me actually using it to a good landmark. And if I do have like 2 kills until I get a service star, of course I won't just use it and then do a review. I will use it beyond that and possibly try and get the other service star. Now, the final attachment I had was the angled foregrip. At the start of this, I did in fact have an ergo grip, but the ergo grip improved hip fire, and I sort of thought, again, I'm not really hip firing too much. I might as well just use the angled foregrip and get a little bit of recoil reduction. And that worked out perfectly fine. No real problems, and it helped quite a bit. I would have liked to use a different amount of attachments on this weapon, try some new things, try some different things, but I was a bit strapped for time, so I couldn't really expend too much and spend too much time because, of course, like I said, I was busy and strapped for time. So overall, this is a very good, very accurate, and actually quite fun to use weapon. You will get outshot in close quarters and at extreme long ranges, but not always. Some of the time you might be able to pick them off or get a jump on them just quick enough so that they can't get you. Just here you'll see using this gun at extreme ranges. This isn't too extreme, but there's some clips coming up where I do use it at quite a bit of a range, and to be honest, it's a bit too far of a range to use it. I can barely even see the target, and somehow I managed to pick them off because of that little orange Dorito. Honestly, it is a little bit weird that this weapon is very good at long range because it is a bullpup design. Now you might think, oh wait, what does that mean? A bullpup design is where the magazine is at the back, and as I understand it, they're usually best at sort of close range, if not beyond close and sort of medium-ish. This happens because the magazine is at the back of the gun, so there is an extremely long barrel, but it doesn't point out too much from the trigger, so it's a little bit hard to point. These are better though, like I said, for close quarters because they stay into the body more. To be honest, I'm not much of a gun expert, so I could be extremely wrong, but that's what I understand. If I am, I apologise. Again, I'm not a gun expert, I'm British, so but either way, if you see this gun in real life, it is actually pretty damn awesome. It's one of the ones I always want to see in real life. Although I'm not a gun expert, I do actually want to get into firearms, and the AUG A3, or the AUG in general, it's a weapon hopefully one day I'll be able to see and possibly even use. I think it's a very cool Halo-like futuristic design, and overall I just love the way it looks. It's kind of annoying that they couldn't make it more sort of special than Battlefield. To be honest, it's just sort of a standard looking gun. And one of the things that always bugs me about games is the way guns sound. Now in real life, most guns sound the same, or at least similar. But what kind of annoys me is when you get a gun that doesn't sound like a gun. The AUG is kind of one of those ones. It sort of sounds like a big fat baby making weird noises. That sounds very weird to say, but it does kind of sound like that. You can disagree with me if you want. That is like an extreme stretch of imagination, but it is something that bothers me, and something I hopefully they will change in Battlefield Hardline. So now finally, I want to talk about, me getting the best record. It's nothing too big. To be honest, I'm kind of a bit ashamed that I only got 56, but that's what it was. And to be honest, I actually really enjoyed this weapon. The AUG has gone from one of my least favourite weapons to actually being pretty viable to use. In this game, I managed to get around about 50 kills with the AUG. I went from having no attachments, basically, for it, all the way to getting a service star and beyond. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this review of the AUG A3. Sorry if it's a little bit patchy, if I'm a little bit snotty, a little bit of a sore throat, and not speaking too well. I do apologise. Hopefully I will get better before I make too many more videos, or hopefully I'll improve in order to make the videos better in general. So that's all for today, guys. Thanks for watching. This has been Monsoon, and I'll see you next time, guys. This has been Monsoon. Happy New Year. Hopefully we'll get past the 150 subscriber landmark, and I hope to see you guys in some future videos. Again, if you wish to message me on possibly working together, please go ahead and do that. I'll make sure to get back to you if you comment or personal message me. So that's all, guys. Thanks for watching. Monsoon out.